Morning, everybody. So, looking at the Dow, and again, if you're a new visitor, please subscribe. And if you've got any technical questions and you want to understand something around price action or ichimoku, just ask them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get a video out for you to explain them. So, the Dow's kind of a difficult one for me at the moment to figure out where we're heading, and I'll explain to you now why. So we have this green line is the downward trend line, right? So it's the high of this week, on the high of this week, on the high of this week, and the high of this week. So we've got this trend line. Then we had a rejection bar last week off Kijinsen, so we didn't break through Kijinsen. We got some sellers come in there, and we closed below Kijinsen. So that normally is a signal that this crossover is going to carry through. Okay, now the cloud is flat and it's not coming together. It's not pointing up, it's not pointing down, it's just running flat, which is an indication that there's nothing much going to happen. And we are so far away here from price that this is still a bullish signal for Chico span. But if we just drill down to the daily quickly, so you can see what happened last week. We gapped up, broke through this trend line, got to the top of the cloud, and the sellers stepped in and brought it back. But now they've brought it back, and here's Mondays. They've brought it back to test the breakout. Now this purple line here is it's the breakout that I'm looking for of this. If I get a daily close below this purple line, then to me we're going to be heading back into this basically a channel. Okay, bottom there. So this is kind of a channel, and which would give me more downside to come and test these lows here. But we didn't quite get the breakout, okay? And if we just zoom in here, you'll see we kind of stepped below it. So this is the low. We got below it, but the buyer stepped in straight away and pushed it back up above the 100 EMA. So now, the question in my mind is, and remember, we've been talking about this this wedge here for some time. Okay, so, and we haven't quite got to what I would say is an acceptable first target of 50% of the height of the wedge. We almost got there, so that sits here. Okay, now on an Ichimoku perspective, we've had a crossover, so we've got a bullish crossover here with Kijinsen and Kijinsen crossing over. We haven't got a twist, and Chico span is below price. So we've got one signal out of three. So there's no real conviction that there is a bullish play coming. Okay, now if I just delete this line and I copy that segment there, and I do that. So I've got a low there, I've got a low there, and I've got a low here, and whatever's happening today. That gives me the wedge that's fallen into a channel. It's found some support here for a push up. So let's just get down to the 4 hour. And so you'll see we had a gap from the previous week here. So that was the Friday close, there's the Monday. So there was a gap here, and essentially we've closed that gap now. On the 4 hour, we did get a bearish crossover for Teganton and Kijun here. We broke through price, but we didn't get a twist. So we got 2 out of 3. So there's no real clear signal there either for any direction. We did close last week below the 200 EMA, and we flirted with it most of yesterday before rushing down to close the gap. Now, what we're looking for is we're looking for price to get above this 200. And I'd like to see Kijunson and Teganson pointing to the upside and give us a crossover. And that may be happening or it may not be happening. So it's really a tough call at the moment on this. So what we could see happening here is the following. You can see we have a left shoulder formed here, and we've had a head form. So we may see price pull back to the pivot here, and then come back up again. And you can see on the 1 hour, we are also below the 200 moving average. We're about to get a crossover. In the next hour or so, we should get a Kijunson crossover. Chico span is just hovering here. Now, if it can get through Kijunson and price, so if Chico span can get above, so let's say to the 200 moving average area here, we've then got a play of about 100 points before it'll find its next resistance. Okay, and that 100 points from where we are now will break the cloud. So that'll get price through the cloud. So there could be a pretty interesting setup brewing at the moment. But I think what we need to see here is some new highs being placed. So what we want to see is we want that one there. So we want to see that high get taken out. And I'd like to see that high get taken out as well. If we can get that to happen, then we have a pretty good chance that this is going to move to the upside. Okay? And we don't have much in the line of diversions here either. Check the 4 hours as well. Nope, nothing there. So let's just delete all these drawn objects so we can just look what's happening right now. Okay, so there is the current downward trend line, the mini trend line, short-term trend line, and let's just copy that to get it there. So this is the downward channel at the moment. You can see how we've touched here 3 times. 1, 2, so we've got 5 touches. Yeah, we are in the cloud. So essentially what we're looking for is a break above the 200 EMA and a hold. If we can get that on the 4 hour, that'll be the first start. Okay, so I think for me, I'm not really going to play anything on the Dow this morning. I think I'll just sit on my hands and wait. I think to me the DAX looks a little bit stronger, and the Aussie's also got some potential for some upside today. So I'll wait and see on this one. Maybe wait for the open this afternoon, and we'll play it from there. If price does fall back and gives us a double bottom, that would be a nice entry as well. And if it does break through here and come back to test this breakout here, that'll give me a good indication of an upward move as well. So, and let's just put the weekly Teganson in here and make that blue. And then let's just come back to the hour. So that's essentially your line in the sand. If we can get above that today and hold above it, sort of get a daily close above there, then we've got some upside. And there are some big corporate results coming through this week. So So yeah, so it's anybody's guess at the moment whether we're going to have trade war fears or whether we're going to follow earnings. And the earnings, a lot of the earnings have been positive, but there's been no reaction to them. Anyway, guys, that's the Dow. Still on hands for me, so I hope it helps, and I'll catch you later.